electric. No matter the venue, the home folks love their silver and black. They are fired up as their Raiders get set to face off with the Miami Dolphins. And we are underway at Allegiant Stadium. Now to return it, here's Kenyon Drake. They're going to take this up close to the 40, so really good starting field position. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. This defense for the Dolphins, very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
Anytime you can hold a team to less than 10 points, your expectation of winning that game has to be sky high. In fact, you'd be absolutely stunned to come away with a loss in that one. Could you imagine going to the press conference and trying to explain that?
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Shotgun now for Carr. Catch is made by Hunter Renfrow. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Derek Carr, very precise thrower of the football. What's the game plan for going up against him? It used to be take away the short stuff, I know, but he's more than a dink and dunker, right?
And you are right about that. Great analysis of him because he has evolved as a thrower. Now he can push the ball downfield, but still, the number one things you want to take away, short passes, intermediate passes. So sharp, precise, and accurate, you got to sit on those routes in order to cause him problems.
On 2nd down, it's Jacobs, and he'll go down at the 28.
And there's a typical run by Josh Jacobs, one where as a defender, you have to make a decision about how you approach him because he's awfully physical with the ball in his hands. 12 touchdowns on the ground last year after 7 as a rookie, and he was a 1,000-yard rusher in each of his first 2 seasons. Wouldn't surprise me, with enough touches, he could easily crack the 1,500-yard mark.
On 1st down, they go with Jacobs again. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Throwing now is Carr. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Working from the gun, it's Carr. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And this a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete.
Not the desired outcome, but probably won't be the last time we see him take a shot downfield.
The Dolphins do the job defensively there, and now it brings up 4th. Carlson able to put this one through. And the Raiders jump out to a 3-0 advantage. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
Well, this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. And the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage, but every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled them with the inside run.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
Second and 10. On play action, here's Tua. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
They go back to the ground, this time Mostert. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. Third down and 9. From the gun, a run with Mostert. And he will have the first down, but he winds up paying for it pretty good.
That's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence.
To a hit, and the ball is out. And the Raiders pick it up. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. The defense, they were swarming that time and ultimately got to him before he could get rid of the football and knocked it free.
And don't you feel just a little bit of sympathy for him back there, though? So much going on, so much swirling around. He's trying to find someone downfield. He's trying to move around to find an open target. Sometimes you forget the number one thing, take care of the football.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. To throw his car. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Throwing his car on third down. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Off of play action, Tagovailoa. And down he goes, brought down a Raiders sack. Chandler Jones in there to get him. It's a loss of 5. And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And this will be down by a member of the kicking team just outside of the 30-yard line. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Now they'll throw with Carr. They swing that out wide to Jacobs. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
I like the play design there. They occupied the defense downfield, everyone trying to account for someone. But unfortunately, they didn't account for the running back slipping out of the backfield. And he was absolutely unnoticed and wound up getting big yards on that play.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On play action, it's Carr. He'll buy some time right. And it's complete to Adams. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
And time to give some credit to the big fellows, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, be able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Second and 8. Now Carr. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. picked up by Javon Holland. And the Dolphins are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Playing against a 3-4 front is really challenging for offensive linemen because they can do so many different things. But when you're running the football, if you can handle the nose tackle up front and it may be a guard can slide up to the second level and block a linebacker, that's when you have success running the football.
Play action. Now it's Tua. They'll roll him out right. And going deep for Hill. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Whenever you see a quarterback break contain, just think to yourself, the receivers on that side of the field, their number one job, make sure they get in his sight line so he can try and find someone downfield. Guys on the backside, make sure you don't give up the deep ball. They tried it there. They weren't able to connect.
And now Mostert is going to be stopped up short. He did not get there. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. They're going for it. Here's Tua with it. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
I know they got the first down, but Brandon, I still don't like the call going for it there. Yeah, they got it, but I would have punted the ball there, played some field position. I mean, it's okay to end drives and kicks, right? You know, we've heard that from different guys before. Remember, a kick's either a punt, right, field goal, or a point after touchdown. It's okay to end it in a kick.
A high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Tua going to throw. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in a defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the first down.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Behind the sticks here with a 2nd and 15. Running right on the option is Tua. Edmonds going to get the handoff here on the option. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Eighth play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. Now Tua. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. So 4th down, Tua departs, and on is Jason Sanders and the Dolphin field goal unit. Sanders' kick is good, and the Dolphins are going to tie the score at 3.
And you're averaging a point a drive. You're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
Johnson now returning. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started as they'll take over with just 13 seconds to go before the break. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. So we've reached halftime in a low-scoring affair, just a pair of field goals. 3-3 is our score. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Second half ready to roll. 2 field goals, the combined output in half number 1. Could be first touchdown wins. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic. No need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
That catch now puts him on the doorstep of 500. It's his 499th reception. They'll run on first down, Edmonds. And he'll work this forward for about 3. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Second down and 7. From midfield, here's Tua. Complete to Jones. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. A great job there, Charles, just to hold on, absorb that contact. I guess that's the risk you take catching the ball toward the middle of the field.
It is, and if you're going to gain yardage, you're going to have to go there at some point. But how about the read, okay? The eyes on that play, stepping out from the middle of the field and really making a big hit. Did not get free, but boy, that's a tough area to go into when you're going into his spot.
They fake the handoff, now Tua. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. The 20. And he will not get all the way home, but he will take this back down to about the 2-yard line. The CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Jacobs again. And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders have taken the lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead is now 10-3. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate, and of course they'd like to forget the ending, the interception, but they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. They'll try the left side. It's Logan. And some space here. And aiming dropped inside the 40.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to, but they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. And he's got room. And he will take it in for a Dolphin. Offense are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And oh, he missed it. No good. And they'll remain down by a point. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. Here comes Johnson on the return. Now a hit and a loose football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And this is brought all the way back. But that's got to be so disappointing for a defense. You force the fumble, think you got a chance at a turnover, and instead, not only do you give up the football, you also give up a touchdown as well.
Yeah, you just think to yourself, you've done all the hard work, right? You forced the fumble, but when they didn't come up with it, I think they relaxed a little bit or maybe lost their focus as well, and it ended up turning out to be a touchdown against them.
And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. To return it, Darius Phillips. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss. So now Carr and the Raiders dealt a 3rd and long after that sack. From the gun, Carr. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones, and he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Dolphins touchdown.
We constantly talk about defenders having great vision and being able to see plays unfold and make their own plays, but you also have to have good feel as well because you can't see everything out there. See the play and make your own play, and in this case, it turned out to be a highlight one.
On the return, Phillips. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
All comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Yeah. Third quarter from Southern Nevada. Here's a 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Carr. Looking deep for Adams. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
On play action, now Carr. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
And that went a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
On second down, Jacobs. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 50 yards rushing for him now to this point.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Carr. And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time is now run out on this third quarter of play. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. Now Carr, got to have this one. Open man, that's Renfro. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
Good yardage on the completion there. When they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score, because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going.
Excellent job pushing through tacklers that time to pick up 6.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Second down, Jacobs once more. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll do going forward. If we lose yardage, this is the play call that I'll have ready.
Carr to throw on 3rd and 1. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Give the sack to Jerome Baker. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Carr to throw for it on 4th down. That's caught by Waller out left side. And he's not able to get away. He is stopped well short of a first down. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And the Dolphins defense is able to hold. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
They're going deep for Hill, and that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
That one brought back a few nightmares, because when a quarterback gets outside of the pocket, your job as a defensive back, make sure you stay as deep as the deepest receiver and not let anyone leak behind you for a big play. A nice job there, having discipline and not letting them connect on that pass.
To throw again on 2nd down, Tua. And the most curious way there to burn some clock. That was wild, and at the end of all that, it winds up a safety. All right, Charles, help me out here. 4th quarter, you've got the lead, and you run backwards into the end zone. You're just trying to do too much.
I almost don't have words for it, but you know every coach that we talk to talks about running backs or people running the football, running north-south, getting upfield. He went way in the opposite direction, and that's going to cost his team.
Yeah, it cost him big time. Still leading, but it costs him. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. Second down. Now Carr. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And it'll be incomplete. Good job staying with him defensively, and it'll bring up second down. Definitely desperation time. This just looks like, hey, throw it down there, hope that your guy can make a play.
You want him to make a play, but if not, maybe you get a pass interference call. And you know in the NFL, that's a spot foul. You get all of that yardage. That would be a big play. My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
The Raiders on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 10. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Got to be wary of throwing an interception here because the defense knows they're going to get tested deep. That's why they're going to put a couple of extra guys back there to try and prevent that.
Yeah, late in the 4th quarter here, trying to preserve the lead. It's caught here by Adams. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Throwing on 1st down is Carr. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing his Carr. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely 4-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the 1st down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a 1st down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. Now Carr. Looking deep for Adams. And incomplete on the deep ball. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Dolphins defense is able to hold. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
And the ball moved up here now to 2nd and 7 following the penalty. That one looks like he'll throw here. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by the rookie from TCU, Trayvon Merrick. Well, in all likelihood, this ball game's still over. I mean, even with the interception, 2-score game, they need a miracle.
Curious decision to even throw the ball in that situation, but maybe they saw a stacked line of scrimmage and said, hey, it's been...
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Fabian Moreau, and they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. Well, obviously, Charles, this stage of the game, down 2 scores, they had to put the football in the air. Unfortunately, it gets picked off.
And the criticism comes easily in situations like this, but you just laid it out. Look where they are on the scoreboard. Look at where the clock is in the game. He has to take a chance here and try and get the ball downfield to his receivers. Unfortunately, it was picked off. A deep ball down that right sideline, and he made sure that he put it where either his guy was going to catch it or no one was.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Here's Tua. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Chandler Jones getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon. So now after the sack, Tua and the Dolphins staring at a 3rd and long. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Sliding out of the pocket. And going deep for Hill. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Scramble drill there, partner. Some teams have some pretty good rules for it. Others are just saying make sure you work your way back into the sight lines of your quarterback, even if you take the play deep. And that's what they attempted to do on that one, unable to connect.
Tua on 4th down. Rolling to his right. And going deep for Hill. This is caught inside the 15. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for Miami, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll return home next week to take on the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for Las Vegas, they suffered defeat for the first time as they dropped to 2-1. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gautin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.